Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Strong Collectors Podcast. Today we are talking about Mythic Legions. So I know Jordan and I mainly focus on Marvel Legends, dabble a little in McFarlane. Maybe Jordan's picked up a Star Wars figure here or there.
I've kind of given up on Star Wars, but
Rightfully
they're
so.
trash.
Got to save money for the Mythic Legions. So we've had Jeremy Gerard on before. He gave us the intro to collecting Mythic Legions. So if you're new to Mythic Legions, go back and watch that episode. Before we get into the Mythic Legion reveals, though, make sure that you're subscribed to the podcast so that you can be entered in to win one of Darryl Young's posters. Once we hit 200 subscribers, we're going to be giving away one of those. It's free of charge. We get one winner and you get a free poster. You can also listen to Darryl's interview. Go back and listen to that. Another good one. I've got a whole separate playlist for our interviews. So we've had, 4 people now? We had Todd McFarlane was our first.
Yeah.
Then Jeremy with Mythic Legions. Then we had Blake for the Toy Collector magazine.
Yeah.
And then we had
Darryl.
Darryl was our most recent. So go back and listen to those. And if you're new to Mythic Legions, Jordan and I are still pretty new. I've gotten into it over the past few months. Jordan's still...
I confess I have yet to own one.
Yep, but he's I think this
But I've
wave...
seen yours, and we'll see. So, yeah, should we kind of reveal what we're doing with the reveals?
Yeah, so if you're used to Marvel Legends, Mythic Legions, apparently, I'm new to the collection here, but they do it much different than Hasbro. So Hasbro, maybe you get a wave or they reveal something. It's like a 30, maybe an hour long live stream, but even the last few we've gotten are like 15 minutes or something. So very quick, here's the figures, in, out, done. Cool, we wait, we get the figures. For Horsemen, who makes Mythic Legions, today was G-Con, so yesterday when we're listening to this podcast. So we watched G-Con. They don't do a 15-minute live stream to show you their figures. They don't do a 1-hour stream to show you their figures. They do a 6-hour stream to show you their figures. So when they reveal their figures, they say, here's this new character, here's the new parts, the new pieces, this is a different weapon, you can swap the parts with this other part, here's the different head sculpts that come with it, here's all of the stuff. What went into making it, what was everything. They're like, this person gave me this idea and I took it into this and we started here and it evolved into this.
So a pretty in-depth breakdown of the figures.
Yeah.
Like a behind-the-scenes look, almost.
Right. So
Which with Marvel Legends, we're always left to just be like, oh, is that new or is that a reuse?
Exactly.
It's you feel, I don't know, it's almost like the Four Horsemen is like, hey, kind of letting you in on the process, which I think
for sure.
Marvel Legends could definitely steal from that idea. I think
absolutely
that'd be cool.
Yeah, so it's everything you need to know, and so like I said, we are condensing down a 6-hour live stream, and that's what it was. It was a live stream too. I can't remember what his name was.
Well, every half hour, right? Every half hour they revealed a figure from.
So it was Jeremy, and I can't remember who the other guy is. The one that actually he's like the Dwight of Mythic Legions.
Right.
But they sat there the entire 2 hours. I mean, I didn't watch the whole 6 hours, but I don't think they got up for a bathroom break even. It was straight through. So I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. And that it is hard for a collector to watch all that. So what Jordan and I are going to do here, we're going to try to condense 6 hours down into hopefully less than an hour, maybe about an hour. To get you all the figures revealed. But then if you are like, ooh, that figure looks cool, I want to learn more about it, you can go over to the G-Con stream and get all of the details that we miss. So,
and as a caveat, Dakota knows what these figures are, and to play into my novice nature, I have not really seen any of them. So I am reacting as the everyday man to see if he would pick these figures up.
Yeah. So we thought that would be kind of fun, kind of like with our interview with Jeremy Gerard. We didn't do a ton of research just because it's supposed to be for new figure collectors. So we wanted to come in with all the questions that a new person would have. Jordan here is going to be seeing all, but he saw the first figure.
Yeah, that's it
But
though.
after that, he hasn't seen anything else. And I think this might be the wave that gets him into Mythic Legions, because I know kind of what Jordan likes to collect, and at least I want to see some of these on his shelf. Another, yeah, I haven't even decided yet how we're going to start. If we're going to start with the heroes and then the villains, because this is a very like versus wave, like good versus evil, or if we're going to go in the order of how they were released. Probably going to go in heroes to villains, because I think that'll kind of play into more of what you're going to want to collect. But
All right.
To start out, you have the link for the first one there, Jordan.
Yeah. Yes.
So the first figure that they revealed, and this is brand new, I believe they said head to toe. This is Sir Elijah. So this kind of falls under the Templar Knights type of figure. I know they've done Templar Knight was like a regular release, and then they did a Legion Builder. So you have a couple of those, and then there's also, I can't remember what her name is, maybe Gwendolyn or something like that. There's another like female version of the Templar Knight. So now we get this one, and this is soft goods, upper body and lower body. So in All Stars 5 Plus, the previous wave that was just on pre-order, some of those figures had soft good loincloths. These have soft goods, like upper body as well. Still with all of the armor and stuff like that. So if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you may want to tune into the YouTube, because I'll also have the pictures coming up here as well. You can scroll through all the pictures on him, Jordan.
Yeah,
I think he's got a pretty
what I'm
cool
doing.
shield.
I like the alternate head. That's a
Yes.
really cool, very detailed alternate head.
I think that hammer, his weapon, is
I was
really
about
cool.
to say the hammer's cool.
That's probably one of my favorite parts about him. I think if I was going to display him, I would probably display him with the full helmet and the hammer. Even though that shield is really cool. This is the same shield. I don't know if you remember from the Gorgo Aether Blade and I think the Attila Leoseer. Those like the one with like the giant antlers on the shield.
Right.
So this, you can swap out the like, I don't know what you call that centerpiece there, but you can pop that out and you could pop on the antler pieces or other
That's
pieces
pretty.
to come. So
That is pretty cool.
they also said that the faceplate, so rather than just having a fully pop off his head, you can take the face out, kind of like with Galactus, the HasLab. So you can take his face out and like swap in other faces. So I would assume we're going to get like other races of like maybe elves and things like that, because we had, I can't remember what the race was, but there was like a green skinned character in the last one. So maybe seeing something like that as well. And I think they didn't show this, but I thought they were kind of saying that when you take the soft goods off, because it's all removable for customizing and everything, you can take the soft goods off and it's like a regular knight underneath it. So I think there's still that armor aspect
Sculpted beneath the cloth?
I believe so. They didn't show it, so I can't say for certainty, but I thought that's what they were saying. It was like a general knight. Not for sure.
Okay, I'll say I don't think I'd pick this one up, but I'm pretty impressed by it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the amount of stuff you get.
Right. If you slide over to everything, you get the shield, the sword, the hammer, a dagger with a sheath, extra set of hands, the regular unhelmeted head with the chainmail hood, the helmeted head, and then the 2 shoulder pieces. And this is a regular Legion figure, so it comes in at their base price of $37. And they were saying too that when the very first wave came out, they were talking about like other companies raising their prices. Future episode coming out, I think our next episode is going to be talking about like Hasbro and other companies raising their prices. Mythic Legions started out at $35 and they've gone up $2 since they've been offering out the figures. So a $2 raise is not something I think people are going to be too upset by. this is one that when they first showed it, I was like, oh, for sure I would get this because I do want Templar Knights in my collection, but they have some cool stuff coming, so I think I might be passing on the Templar. Well, okay, that's the other thing is we'll get into the all-ins later, but I may have to sell him to recoup some of my cost of the cool figures that I want to keep. Next up, let me send you your second figure. And they also did say that they were going to be having like more All-Stars coming, which I think that's going to be in the spring. So that kind of gives people a chance to go back and get some more of those older figures. So I don't know if they would put Templars in that, but I think that would be kind of cool since we have Templars or like a Templar type character in this new wave. So you got the new figure there, Jordan.
Just did.
So this one, I don't know if I'm going to be able to say his name, but this is Sir Adderlick. Nope, the L is before the R. How would you say that, Jordan?
I can't see it.
We'll go with Adderlick. I'm sure that's wrong, but first impressions on this guy, Jordan?
I'm good on Adderlick.
I kind of agree. I really like the colors. At the same time, I don't like the colors. He just kind of gives me a little too much Mardi Gras, because he's got like that kind of turquoise, teal, and purple, and the white. So it just kind of looks a little Mardi Gras to me.
Mardi Gras night.
But it is cool to like, because I like to have like on my shelves, I don't want to have like all the same color behind me. Like if I have too many red characters, I'll like move them around or something like that. So he is going to add something different to your display. I really like his shoulder pieces with the wings coming up. He also has the soft goods upper and lower body, which I just think is crazy that they're doing that on regular figures here, because that's like a Mezco thing, and Mezco is like $100 for a figure. The regular Legion builders or regular Legion figures are $37. So he's going to come with the shoulder pads, like I mentioned, with the wings. He's got a spear. He's got a mace. He's got a dagger with a sheath. What was it? Sheath? Yeah, sheath. Sheath. He's got like the plume that's detachable from his helmet. I think he also has the faceplate that like comes down, or you could remove it. And then he's got the shield similar to the last one, where you could remove that centerpiece and swap those around if you wanted to.
Right.
So, and as they were revealing all of these, they were kind of explaining they were reading through the bios and kind of telling you about the character, and I thought that was like pretty cool that they go into that much detail, because like all these characters are their own original IP, so they're kind of helping you learn the characters as they're being released. So I thought that was fun. Got the next one, Jordan?
Yes.
This one is Sir Gideon Heavensbrand 2. So if you've been going through the lore and going through all the figure lists like I have, picking out your favorites from each faction, each wave, you may recognize Sir Gideon Heavensbrand because he came out, I want to say he was one of the earlier releases, but he's one that, I don't know, all these like Heavensbrand ones kind of stand out because they're very, like, so this is a part of the Order of Etheron. Etheron is like the bird that you see on his shield, and it's kind of like the religious group of Mythos. So they kind of like all pray, and Etheron comes and like blesses you with power or something like that. I got to get more into the lore too, but Sir Gideon Heavensbrand is completely adorned with the Etheron. I like to say Etheron. I think it sounds cool. He's got the shoulder pad with the eagle on it. His shield is just a ginormous eagle.
His helmet's got two With the
He's got
wings
wings
and
on the
the
side,
little
and yeah,
wings on top.
his sword even has it. So yeah, he is all
And he's got a
decked
sweet
out.
stash.
He does, and I kind of like his unhelmeted head. That's not what I thought his hairstyle would be. Kind of the like longer swooped over to the side. Um,
But it works
makes
for
him.
him.
It does. It does work for him. I agree, and his stash is very like it's just so I don't know. When I see him with the like helmet on, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a stash. He's like very proper, like
Yeah.
gonna go to battle. And then when I see him without the head or without the helmet, I'm like, oh yeah, he's a bro.
He's a bro.
But maybe that's just me.
Get
So
yourself
again,
a knight who can do both.
exactly like most of the knights and most figures, he comes with the 2 shoulder pads. One of them is like a little bit more decked out with the eagle, like the Etheron head. He's got 2 sets of hands. The unhelmeted head, the helmeted head, which got the visor that can come down. He's got a dagger with the sheath. He's got the shield with the giant Etheron on it, which I would assume also comes on and off. You can swap that around. And then he comes with a crazy decked out eagle Etheron sword with a also pretty detailed sheath there too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Out of all of the knights that I've seen so far, or well, like so what is this? This is our 3rd reveal. Is he not your favorite, Jordan? Or out of those 3 knights, do you have a favorite?
Definitely not the second one.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's definitely the coolest so
Yeah,
far.
I like him. He's definitely one that I plan on keeping.
Yeah.
The only thing that I kind of pause at is the soft goods.
Yeah.
I don't have any soft goods figures right now. I would like to try out a Mezco. Like I know we had that one Batman Mezco that you had traded for and then got rid of. Wasn't a huge fan of that one. I didn't hate it, but it was just kind of like definitely not worth the money to me.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping these are cool. Like, and that's kind of the thing is like 4 Horsemen does a really good job with everything they do. So I am hopeful. And worst case scenario, it's $37, and they'll never be $37 again after the pre-order. So worst I can do is make exactly what I spent on it.
Yeah.
Sir Heaven's Brand with all that armor, it's hard to walk around. So he needs his trusty steed. And this is Bishop. So a lot of people were expecting a white horse. And they obviously have the white horse here, Bishop. But instead of just the regular like saddle, like the previous horses, this one is decked out with armor. He's got almost like his own helmet on, armor down his neck, shoulder pads on his back, and then he's got kind of like, I don't know what you call that coming off of his sides, kind of like not flags, but like almost like a skirt piece that goes down the sides. It looks very medieval. And that's all of the soft goods here are wired, so you can kind of get him in the running poses, making it look like he's running through the wind. Comes with, like, you can take the armor off of it, so you just have a regular white steed. And then comes with a giant, what is that, a lance that you joust with.
Yes.
And I think that looks pretty cool. I think that would look awesome with Sir Gideon Heaven's Brand holding that. You don't have any horses in your current collection, Jordan? What do you think of this horse?
Sorry, I'm getting connected real quick here because the Instagram link stopped working.
Oh, unfortunate. While you get connected, I will get you the link for the next one.
Yes.
I think for me, I don't know. The only horse I have from Mythic Legions is the Headless Horseman. And as awesome as a horse that is, I don't currently have the shelf space to have a whole, what do you call a bunch of horses? A whole flock of horses? It's probably not a flock of horses, a whole herd? Whatever it is.
A
Leave a comment and tell me what it is you call a
what
group
is
of
it?
horses.
Uh,
A pack.
I don't
I
think
don't
it's
know.
a pack.
It's not a pack for sure. Either way, I don't have room for multiple horses.
I think it's horse eye.
Yeah, Moosin.
Moosin.
So I like him, especially with Sir Gideon. It would be very challenging for me to get this and then sell it, but the horses do pretty well on the aftermarket to where I probably would end up selling it just so that I could justify keeping some more of the like regular figures. But I think people are going to have a really fun time posing this horse with their heroes. And I'm curious to watch people, because I know some other folks that don't even do Mythic Legions. They just get the Legion horses to go with like their Conan, their other Mezcos, their Legends, McFarlane, stuff like that. Because they definitely have the best horses on the market right now. And this horse is a deluxe horse, so it's a little bit more expensive, I think, than their regular horses. I want to say, I can't remember exactly what the other horses cost, but this one is $65. I believe the other ones were $55. But I think that's just because of like all the armor and the soft goods that this guy comes with.
Yeah.
So you get, pay $10 more for a ton of accessories, which I think is a fair trade-off, where Legends will have you pay $10 more and you get less accessories. So, thanks to the Four Horsemen for giving us good stuff. All right, Jordan. If you wait, don't open that link. I think I sent you the wrong link.
All right.
I did send you the wrong link. That'll show you everything. That'll spoil all of the surprises.
All the surprise.
Just trying to be prepared ahead of time. All right. Now, if this one isn't your favorite hero, we might have to end the podcast here, because this guy is so freaking cool.
All right.
This is Sir Uzjek. A lot of C's and the Z. Challenging names to say, but what do you think here, Jordan?
He's like an ogre knight.
Yes, this is an ogre scale, so it's going to be larger than your typical legion. So I don't know that it's twice the size, but it's not the size of a troll, but I would say maybe a little bit smaller than a McFarlane Violator. Maybe, and obviously not as like large in the upper body. But what do you think, Jordan? Give me your thoughts. Tell me what you're seeing.
I mean, I'm seeing Ooksjack.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
UCCZJAK. So I don't know who comes up with these names, but it's so crazy.
The concept is cool.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
I don't see myself ever wanting to own it or owning it.
I cannot believe. I don't know what's wrong with you, Jordan.
It's like, it's fine.
It's a giant knight. Why would you? Do you see the hammer he's holding?
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not seeing something, Jordan. Because okay,
you need to
for
get
the
your
folks,
prescription
if you're listening and you're not
checked.
watching, it's a ginormous knight. It's kind of a silver and gold, a little bit of purple accents in there. They kind of described this guy as like a walking cathedral.
Oh, he's 9-inch scaled.
There you go. And he's got a ginormous hammer for just, I imagine he'd play whack-a-mole with the goblins and dwarfs. But the hammer has wings on the ends of it. Giant face mask. It's got soft goods. And I kind of like that the soft goods here are covered up by non-soft goods. Just because I'm not a huge soft, like I said, I'm skeptical on the soft goods, so I like that he's got minimal amount. But yeah, skip through to the like hammer details on top of it. It's got like a whole, I don't know who that is, but a whole face on the top of it. It's crazy, man. This guy looks nuts. He's one that I'm for sure keeping. Hands might be
No, like I appreciate. I don't know,
the
man.
fact
I'm
that you're not
feeling.
willing to keep. You're not going to put your money down and put it on your shelf is appalling. And I want you to apologize to the listeners for the
No,
transgressions that you're planning on committing.
it's just like I appreciate what legions are, and I like that other people like them, but I just don't know if they're for me.
It's okay to have the wrong opinion sometimes, and I hope that someday you see
You
the
will
error of
see the
your. But
light.
like I said, we're kind of building up. I'm not completely. I mean, I'm a little shocked that you don't want to get that guy just because he's so freaking cool. But we're building up to things that I think you want. So I'm not completely appalled,
You're
but
not
I'm mostly
right.
appalled. Next one, I'm not even
All right.
gonna actually bother sending to you because it's just a hands, feet, and accessories pack. So this is
Okay.
actually 3 packs, but something that I think would be cool if we saw from other companies like Hasbro to do with Legends, rather than having to go to like third-party companies to get like a shield for your Captain America that's got holes in it, or to get extra hands and heads, stuff like that.
Yeah.
They've got one accessory pack that comes with 2 shields, a hammer, kind of like that first hammer we saw, a spear, a sword with a sheath, a dagger with a sheath, and then a mace top. So it looks like you could take the hammer part off and put the mace top on. These are all fairly unpainted, like pretty basic looking, just like silver, just like very metal looking. So
Right.
this obviously is meant for the customizers that want to paint it up and make it fit their collection. Then you get the like heroes extra hands, which comes with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You get 10 hands that are kind of gold, 10 that are silver, and 10 that are kind of like a blackish metal. And then for skeletons, you get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 hands, just in different poses like pointing, grabbing, claws, fists, things like that. And you get 2 sets of feet. And then each of those packs, I believe, let me pull it up. I want to say 14. Yeah, those are $14 each. So I think if Hasbro would implement something like that, where they gave you an extra 10 hands and a couple of like effect pieces, I think people would probably go for that.
Yeah.
Or like expressions for like give Tony Stark like an angry face, or like use some of those characters that they're always giving you.
Right.
Give them those head sculpts that people are always asking to like add it into the things to make it worth it. If they would
Oh,
put out
dude,
something like
if
that,
they ever put out like a battle damaged Spider-Man head,
exactly, that would be so easy for. I mean, like, yeah, they would have to sculpt a whole new head, which I guess is a little bit different than like these are meant to be very basic. They can work with anybody. A battle damaged Spider-Man head is obviously only going to work for people who have bought a Spider-Man. So like, I can kind of get that, but at the same time, it's like this is I think such a cool idea because they're like really giving the customizers what they could use to build their armies.
what if it was like a Spider-Man just pack?
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
some Spidey webs,
everybody
some
has a
Spidey
Spider-Man.
heads.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
I
know.
think that could totally work. And yeah, I'm a little surprised that they haven't done it yet. All right, so building up to what I think you would get. Oh, I think all of these have potential, but we'll start out with
Okay.
the big dog himself, the namesake of the wave. This is going to be Necronominus. So he's one of the horsemen of the apocalypse, one of the like biggest bads in all of ethos or mythos. So he's the only reason I think you maybe don't like him is because he's got so much going on. So it's a giant skeleton king. He's got like a I don't know, like a giant scarf, big headdress, bone wings. He's got a wired kind of robe that I think is kind of. I like the robe with the like strands that are kind of all flying in every direction. I think that would be cool. I don't know who would make. I mean, Marvel, but Marvel's not going to do it. I would like to get an Angela figure with kind of a wired, her ribbons. That's kind of what this reminds me of. But then he's also got the giant scythe. What do you call that?
Scythe. Yeah.
Scythe. Because it's sort of like a Grim Reaper-ish type figure, but
I'll say that I definitely love the wings.
You do? Interesting.
That's a very creative touch that they're like bone wings, you know?
Yeah. This isn't the first time we've seen bone wings in Mythic Legions. They've put them out with others, but I do agree. Like the bone
I think
wings
it works with him very well.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know if you've gotten to the picture of just the scythe and the hands, but he comes with 3 hands as well, or 3 sets of hands and the scythe, but the scythe has its own like decorated like skeleton on the backside of it, which I think is pretty cool. So again, just kind of in typical Mythic Legion fashion, it's detailed, just absolutely crazy. I mean, the headdress itself is just tons of bones, kind of going up around like the collar into the crown. Yeah, absolutely crazy figure. But I mean, like you do kind of have to pull out all the stops when you're making a horseman, because it's, you know, one of the biggest, supposed to be like the biggest villains. Yeah, exactly. Right. So makes sense that it would be so awesome. And then you can't have a horseman without the horse. So this one was one that tons of people, like all over the Mythic Legions Cabal Facebook group, were asking for. A lot of people didn't expect them to be able to do it, but 4 Horsemen said, "Here is your skeleton horse." What do you think about this one, Jordan? I think this, before you say, I think this would be cool to add those wings too, to make it like a full skeleton Pegasus. I don't know how you would attach those wings, because I don't think there's, like,
the detail on the skull is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
that
like
is
the
incredible.
ribs, I'm not sure. I don't think it's hollow all the way through, but it looks, if it's not, they did a really good job of making it look like it's hollow throughout. But yeah, like the neck, the like rags around the like neck and the back. I like the kind of like.
You know what this would go well with?
What would this go with?
The Headless Horseman.
You think the Headless Horseman would ride the Skull Horse?
I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I just think any villain with a skeleton horse walking beside it would just be very imposing. It'd go great on your Halloween displays too.
I know, that was my thought.
You like to pose out your monsters? This guy would fit in with your monsters. What is its
name? Put like Frankenstein on him.
Yeah. Have it like stomping on Wolfman.
Yeah.
How would you say this name here, Jordan? Conobus?
Conobus? Conobus?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Or Conobus?
Conobus, yeah.
Conobus. I think Conobus sounds cooler, but I don't know if that is how they said it.
Yeah. This one,
unless that's some kind of Latin word. I don't know.
Yeah. This guy, or this horse, you can either get single packed, same with Necronominus, or you can get the 2 packs where you get Necronominus and his horse together. So that one, I mean, I think that's kind of a fun display piece. I think it's a little bit more for me. Like, it'd be mainly if you were going to keep it on card. But if you're wanting to recoup some of your costs, it's pretty good investment, because I was just looking before we got on here. The Arethyr, I have the single packed Arethyr. He comes with his horse in a 2-pack as well. The 2-pack, if you get the 2-pack, it's $110. But on eBay, the Arethyr 2-pack is going for like at least $210 up to $275, I think I saw. So
wow.
Good investment. Recoup the cost. I'm probably maybe gonna order a 2-pack, just because I gotta make some money back on some of these because there's too many that I want to keep. um, but yeah, that I think it would be cool to keep it on card, but I'm running out of space. Can't keep everything on card, so some
It's
things
true.
got to open up. All right, so that was Necronominus and his horse. Now we get into Necronominus's daughter, which is another one that I wasn't sure which one you would like better, so I figured we'd just start out with the big guy. Her name is Bluethil. Bluelith. I don't know, man. The names are so hard. Once you hear it a few times, you'll get it.
Beluelith?
Beluelith. Yes, there you go, Jordan. What are your first impressions? What do you see, and describe to the listeners what you love about her?
It is a kind of looks like the girl from The Ring, but she's blue.
Okay. Yeah.
And she's got like a entourage of skeletal animals. So it looks like is that a three-headed? Oh, it's a three-headed beast with the face of like a dog, a snake, and a goat.
Yep. So it's
crazy.
got a tail. The tail is the snake.
Oh, that's what it is.
So she's a beast master. So yeah, it's a two-headed animal, but the tail like comes up as a snake.
And then there's a like bird skeleton, and then like a cage on her back.
And there's a skeleton snake in the cage. So if you go to the accessories photo, you'll see that. So she's got two head sculpts. She's got kind of like the more like normal looking face, and then she's kind of got the more like zombie-ish face where like her nose is like cut off, and she's kind of got like more like rotting skin. Maybe it's the same amount of rotting skin, but yeah, she comes with 3 sets of hands. She comes with kind of like a bone knife, and then like the bone that you see in the accessory picture attaches to her back, and that's what holds the cage that the skeleton snake is in. I feel like people are going to want this figure just for that creature. I can't remember what the creature is called, but it has a name. It's like an actual mythical creature.
Right.
But that thing just looks crazy. And I think that would go well on your shelf, Jordan. If you were putting figures on the shelf for Halloween, this would scare the children for sure. She comes in at $50 because she's a deluxe. I mean, she's got 3 animals with her, which those 3 animals have 5 heads.
A lot of detail.
Yeah, lots of detail. She's got tons of bones sculpted all throughout. Like through her like belt, she's got kind of like a whip, soft goods kind of loincloth thing. Yeah, just this is one that I would be torn on just because she looks so detailed that it's like you don't have anything even remotely close to this in a collection, that it would just be kind of one of those pieces that's just like kind of blows your mind to have. I don't know. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, where are you feeling more tempted by the villains so far, Jordan?
I think the whole zombie motif is much more appealing to me than the knights. So
now, Jordan, did you just say that the zombie motif is appealing to you?
Yes.
Because if so, I give to you the Undead Builder Pack. Comes with zombies. So this is one single figure, but as a builder, it comes with tons of accessories. So you have the ability to build 2 different zombies and 2 different ghosts. So you've got the zombie in the first picture with the jaw that's kind of like half falling off, and then you've got the other with like the attached jaw, the bigger head. And then you've got the ghosts that kind of have like an ethereal like smoke effect coming up above their, or like throughout their like neck and over their head. And then you've got the like kind of ghoul sharp teeth ghost, and all of those come with different limbs too. So if you want your zombie, the zombie comes with zombie arms and legs. The ghosts come with ghost arms and legs. The ghosts here, I love the ghost. It's kind of like the Hagnon. It's translucent, but it's like a cool translucent, not like an invisible woman. And they were saying that the ghosts it wasn't a final product yet, but they're working on making the ghost glow in the dark, which I think I told you, like I have my Mythic Legions displayed in my walk-in closet. I say walk-in closet so it doesn't sound like I've confined to my closet with toys. It is, you can walk into it. But
you can stick your head in there.
So I've got my Mythic Legions on top of my dresser, kind of displayed up, and like I shut the lights off one night and I was like, wait a minute, Hagnon glows, and like I didn't even know that when I bought him, but now these are gonna glow too. So tell me what you think of the Undead Builder Pack.
This is, I think, the coolest one so far.
Mm-hmm. And what they were saying about this pack was that it's meant for your other like Legion builders. So if you have like other skeletons or things like that, you can pop those arms off and now pop these, so you have like multiple ghosts with different armors. Because like this only comes with the one body, so you need some of those other bodies to possess. So you sold, Jordan?
I like this one and the skeleton horse. Those are my top two so far.
Now this one is a deluxe, so you're gonna have to shell out a little bit more for it. It's $55. But if you're like Jordan's like, I only like zombies, I don't care about ghosts. I don't know if that's how you're feeling, but if that was what you were feeling, you could probably sell off those ghost pieces and the extra pieces that you're not going to need, and it would bring your cost down probably back into like a regular Legion figure or less. Like you might be able to make all your money back. So, and they were kind of talking about like, what would you want the colors to glow? Like they didn't have it like finalized yet, so it's like people were saying like green or blue or pink or whatever. I think a blue glow would be cool because that's kind of like what their effect is. Like especially the like ghoul looking head is very blue. The one thing that they did say was that if you see the skull head that has kind of the flame effects that you can port onto the eyes, they weren't for sure if they were going to get that to be ported on or if that was just going to be a permanent sculpt. They were going to try to make it ported, but they were saying that like it might just be too small to make it the right plug. So, you know, you can wish that you have the option, but which I don't know, it's got to be at least possible because we get like tiny effects from Marvel Legends with like the smoke effects on the blasters or like War Machine's arm cannon.
Maybe the Horsemen don't have that tech, dude.
Yeah, maybe Hasbro's hoarding it all for themselves. All right.
What do we got next?
We've got two more.
Okay.
And I think I'll show you the one. I think you're probably going to want the next one I show you more, but I want you to have the last one more.
Okay.
So sticking still, like all these figures are like in the theme of the undead. This one is Maxilius the Harvester. So Necronominus isn't necessarily a Grim Reaper type. He just kind of has the weapon. But Maxilius the Harvester is the one that kind of goes through the fields and kind of collects the souls for Necronominus as kind of like more of a Grim Reaper type character. But this one, don't click through the pictures yet, Jordan.
Why?
Because we're going to walk through it together. So the first picture, you see him, he's got like his armor on, kind of like made out of skeleton, like bones. He's got his like hourglass type thing, which they said, if you read the bio, it talks about like that's where his collected souls are swimming throughout that. We go to the second picture. You can see he's got some like small red wings on his back. I will say I'm not a huge fan of the red wings. They're not, I want my wings to be ginormous. And I think skeleton wings would look cooler on him. So maybe that's just me. I don't know if those wings are like, if you pop those wings out and that's all they are. Because if that's how it is, I would maybe put those on a knight. We go to the third picture. We just see a side view.
Ooh, I like picture. That just generic Grim Reaper one in the middle.
That's what I thought you would like that one. So you can take all of his like bone armor off and just make him a
And
typical Grim
I don't
Reaper
want
with
the
his.
bone armor.
I kind of agree. I think he looks cooler without the bone armor as just a regular Grim Reaper. So now go to the next picture, and he can be just your regular skeleton. So I figured you'd probably be more excited about the Grim Reaper, but as far as skeletons go, this is by far the best regular skeleton you could
Okay,
get.
I would love to have. Now I want more than one skeleton though to like fight Conan or something.
Well, the good news here is this. Although if you go to the next picture also, you'll see the accessories. Go to the next picture. Next picture. I think is it not even on there? Maybe they didn't put it on the Instagram, but I'll put it on YouTube.
Okay.
A picture of like the regular full armored up, the normal Grim Reaper, and then the skeleton. So you have the opportunity to make 3 different figures here, and the cost is only $37. It's a regular Legion. So it's really not out of the realm to just get a few skeletons there, Jordan. But that's the thing too, is like I've had some of those what are they, Golden Skull or Golden Axe skeleton from Storm Collectibles. Those things suck. I don't know if you collectors out there have them now, but you probably only have them because that's the best thing that you could get right now for your skeleton. I understand. Sell them now and buy these because these look way better. Which, like, these are kind of like beefed up skeletons. Like, this is like if you look at a Mythic Legion Knight and you look at a skeleton, you're like, how does bone and muscle and skin all fit into this if that's the skeleton?
But
yeah, no,
don't worry about
it.
It's magic. It's
right.
enchanted to be bigger, to be
exactly.
stronger.
There you go. See, Jordan's already mental gymnastics his way into understanding why they're bigger and they look cool. So I think this kind of, like I said, I think this is one that you're probably most likely to order. I don't know if you will or not, but yeah, I think even like if you go over to the like accessories photo, you see this skull that is on the like regular figure. Right. I kind of like the like not really blocked out eye, but he just like doesn't have eye sockets.
Blind eyes, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And I also thought, I was like, oh shoot, like you're gonna get this figure, but then I don't know, for some reason I just want my Grim Reaper to be like pointing at someone like I'm coming for you. I was like, oh, you're gonna have to get the hands pack. It comes packed in with pointing hands. So like, boom. This figure is just about perfect for a Grim Reaper. I don't know what more I could really ask for.
I changed my statement. This is the best one.
All right. Nice.
So there's one more?
There's one more. This one,
all right,
I want you to get just because I want to see like Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch fighting this figure.
All right.
So this one, I think you're going to need 3 of name? Also. Terpiculi. So this is, for people that are just listening, this is like a crazy 4-armed creature.
I'd say Terpiculi.
Well, this one I'm positive on that it's Terpiculi, because I did watch this one in its entirety. And I watched the others too. I just can't remember them. Terpiculi, or whatever, however you said it, kind of sounds like pasta.
Hey, Terpiculi.
Exactly. That sounds delicious. But so he's got a pair of really long arms that come down all the way to the ground when he's standing like fully up. He's got normal sized arms. Exactly. 2 swords. He's got a bendy wire tail. He's got kind of like small, like not the same kind of wings as Necronominus, but still like wing type things coming, or like even like they look like they would just stab you and like pull you in. 2 different head sculpts. One of them has kind of like antlers, the other one doesn't. Comes with like a bone knife thing, looks like for skinning his victims. Then he comes with 2, 4, 6, 8 hands, kind of like wide open clawed hands, big hands, and it's kind of like just the reverse for like, so I guess it's 2 sets of hands per sized arm. But you can move his arms around. They were saying that he looks really cool with like, they have him posed here with his small arms in the back, but they said he also looks like even creepier with the big arms in the back. So you can kind of have your fun moving them around. You don't have to have all 4 arms. You could just be 2 arms. You could take the wings off, move things around. It's all pop and swap, customizable. I want you to have 2 of these, maybe 3 of these for your display with your magicians to be fighting it.
I would consider getting this and the previous one.
The Maxilius, the Harvester.
Yes.
The Grim Reaper figure.
There's a part of me that's like calculating those numbers right now. But.
So the Terpiculi is a little bit more because it's a deluxe. I don't know if it's because of the extra arms and the tail or if it's larger. It says it's 6-inch scale, but that's kind of, I don't know. They don't have it pictured with anything else. I'm sure as the time goes on, we'll see a little bit more scale and more details, but this one's 45. So still, I think that's pretty reasonable for the like ferociousness of this monster.
Yeah.
And then the other one's 37. So I don't know what that quick math is, but it comes out to be exactly what you should pay if you're not multiple. So that's all of the figures released. But Jordan, you think we're done? They pull you back in and they say, actually, we are 4 Horsemen Studios. We do things different here. We don't just give you what we say we're giving you. We give you a little bit more. So at the end of the stream, they were like, oh, it'd be so cool if you got all of your heroes could also be skeletons as well. So they're like, all right, here is your Templar Knight skeleton head. Here's your, I can't remember, the Mardi Gras guy skeleton base for him. The giant Oozjack, an ogre-sized skeleton head, and then you got a skeleton head for your White Horse Bishop. This isn't just like a pre-order exclusive from Horsemen. It's not a G-Con exclusive. Those just come with all of those figures. So you get extra heads with everybody. Or, well, not every. I don't think Sir Gideon gets a head, but he can't be corrupted. You get 4 extra heads, which I think was cool. I don't know. I guess kind of like looking back, it's like, oh, maybe that was like gimmicky, markety.
Really,
like,
sorry, let me I just have the thumbnail, so it's the figures.
Yeah, if you just go on any of the Instagram links and just close the thing, you can see everything now. It'll be the most recent picture. Okay. But like maybe it's kind of marketing gimmicky because it's like, oh, we got all these figures, we were super excited, and now they're adding this on top of it, where maybe we wouldn't have been excited if it was like, oh, you're getting this figure and its skeleton head onto the next figure. So I thought that was, even if that's the way that what they thought, which I think that's crazy smart. Like, it makes me feel like, whoa, they're even boosting this stuff. It was awesome, and now it's more awesome. So, all right, Jordan. Now that you got all of Instagram pulled up, now you can see everybody at once. All right.
I've same feeling of what I just said about the Harvester and the
Terpiculi.
Yeah.
Gonna get any heroes to fight them?
I don't know. I almost want to like have them mixed in with just my existing figures.
That's what I was thinking. I thought that,
like, you know who would look great fighting those guys is Spawn.
That's true. Yeah. Spawn fighting, I mean, any of those villains would be pretty cool.
I get like my Spawn and my John Constantine back here.
Yeah.
Have them fighting, that'd be cool.
I feel like Constantine could go up against the, what do you say the blue girl's name?
Oh, I don't know. I've forgotten it now.
Yeah. But that girl, I think Constantine would be a good match for her.
Yeah.
Oh, what about the zombies? You picking up a zombie or no?
I don't know. I'm more on the fence now that I've seen the other two, but this is the most tempted I've ever been to get a Mythic Legion.
That's what I thought. So they've always got the option to get all in, which I got a lot of stuff to sell. So if I can sell some of this stuff, I'm probably going to go all in. And then I'll have to decide whether I'm going to get the 2-pack because the 2-pack's not included in the all-in price.
Right.
But the all-in is going to cost you $560.
Ooh.
It's a lot, but I did the math before we got on. I think it's a little bit over. I think it's like $41 less to do it that way, which gets you like a free normal sized figure. And then
Yeah.
like for somebody like me who I'm gonna like as soon as I get it, probably gonna sell the weapons pack and the hands and feet packs because I'm just not really talented enough to be. I'm definitely not painting anything because I feel like anything I paint is gonna look like a kindergartner painted it. But then it would kind of come down to figures of like probably selling off the horse if I got the 2-pack to sell off, and then kind of making back all that money to you know you're only paying $37 per figure, but if you can sell some stuff off after you got it cheaper, you're only paying like $20 a figure. This
Yeah.
is, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 items, including the like accessory things. For somebody that doesn't collect legions like I do, what is like the price tag of an all-in of 560 is like on par with like a HasLab. You get 14 items, like some of those are deluxe, like you get 2 horses in there.
Yeah. When I think about it that way, that seems fair for
Yeah.
the price of what you get.
Okay.
I just
I
don't
was
think
curious if
I
was
would not
just
go all in, but I
sure.
would piecemeal out those other couple maybe.
Yeah, and I think that I was just kind of curious because like me, I'm kind of blinded by like I love Mythic Legions, like super excited by all these. Like if I could, I'd keep
Yeah.
everything. So I was just curious. I wanted to know how crazy I was if I spent
You're
that much
not that
money.
crazy. You're
All right,
not
good.
that well.
I talked to my therapist about that, and I'm thinking about spending this much on toys. You're thinking about what? We need to get the straight deck, get some padded walls for this guy. Okay. But yeah, I'll. So that's the other thing too. Is this isn't like the HasLabs where it's like, all right, you guys got a month, back it or not. This is like, if you want it, you can buy it. You can buy as many as you want to, and then their pre-order window starts today, so November 4th, started at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and then it goes. How long do you think? Like, what would your guess be as to how long? Like, you think it's going to end before Christmas?
Yeah,
Before
maybe like a month or something.
yeah,
Month and a
no.
half. I don't know.
This goes until January 15th. So
Well,
that makes me very excited because I'm gonna be able to use some Christmas money to then probably push myself into an all-in.
there you go.
So I think that was a pretty smart idea. I think like it would have made sense for them to end it before Christmas. Like that's what I was expecting, but instead they like push it back. Like this is a pretty long pre-order window, so it gives you plenty of time. Like they're gonna be able to like answer any questions anybody has, and they do a super good job of like on the podcast they'll answer questions, have the figures in
Yeah.
hand, show you the articulation, so see how it swaps and scales and all that stuff. So by
Yeah.
the end of the pre-order, you're gonna have no question of whether or not those figures are worth the price to you, and then you're able to make the decision and build up the funds. Kind of like I was saying, it's like, oh, I'll get some Christmas money, I'll be able to make some sales of toys, and then you can get the stuff you want.
And they won't like sell out in that window.
They will never sell out. So you could pre-order
That is
1,000 of
crazy.
each, and it's kind of just made to order. I don't know. Maybe they could sell out if you tried to buy 1,000 of each, but I think they would probably just make
Right.
more. So because these aren't going to be shipping out, I think. Let's see if it says. I don't think it has like an exact date. I want to say I thought I saw somewhere it said like Q3 of next year.
Yeah.
So you got to wait quite a while. Like that's almost a year. But to get these figures, like as soon as they sell, like on January 16th, the day after the pre-order, a regular figure is going to go on like Big Bad Toy Store and other approved retailers. That was $37. Now it's going to be like 45, 50.
Right.
So if you do want them, it's kind of the best time to buy it. I know some people don't like going through the 4 Horsemen just because they have to pay right up front, where Big Bad Toy Store you pay when it ships. So that it just gives you more time, but it's more time to spend more money.
Yeah.
I prefer to pay it up front, save the money. But yeah, I think, and then they also ended the stream by saying that Necronominus wasn't finished. They had so much tooled and so much work into this that they're pushing this into the All-Stars wave that's coming out in the spring, and that's going to be an All-Stars 6+. So kind of like they did 5+, where it was they had three old figures that they re-released, and then new figures in that wave. They're going to have more of the Congregation of Necronominus coming out with that All-Star 6+ in the spring. So
Yeah.
if you haven't had enough skeletons and monsters yet, Jordan, there's more coming.
All right.
That is all we have for this. We'll probably do another update episode maybe towards the end of this, just kind of like reminder that it's ending and kind of new information we've gathered. Maybe I'll have a final tally of what I'm going to be ordering, what Jordan's going to be ordering. So let us know down in the comments what you're most excited about. I'm interested to see kind of what people are kind of gravitating towards. I would expect, I think kind of like you, people are going to really like that Maxilius the Harvester, just because you don't have to be a Mythic Legions fan to want a Grim Reaper figure. I would be surprised if more people don't want Saruzjak, the giant knight. I don't know. That's probably the one that I'm most excited about from this whole wave. And then kind of similar to you, the Torpicula is just a good monster for anyone to have. So leave a comment. Tell us what you're most excited about. Genuinely want to know. And then until next time, stay strong.